Now, Rob, what does that mean? You didn't know you were going to get a test today, did you? Or otherwise you would have studied. What does it mean if a guy comes home with disciples? If you came home to your wife and you had disciples, that would make you a... Somebody help Rob out, because I just pulled his name out of the hat. Who said that? It'd make him a rabbi. That's exactly right. So here Jesus comes home. Did you get that, Rob? You knew it. I just posed the question wrong. So here he comes home to Nazareth, and he's got these 12 disciples. He is a rabbi all of a sudden. And the people were amazed. They're amazed because they'd heard all these things about Jesus, what's going on with him. And they're thinking, where did he get this ability? We know this guy. Where'd he go to school? What are his credentials, baby? Who does he think he is walking into this town with disciples like he's our rabbi? He hasn't been to our schools. He hasn't gotten our training. He doesn't have the pedigree. He does not have the credentials. What is going on here with this guy? We know about him. We know where he lives. We know his mom. We know his brothers and sisters. We know this guy. By the way, did you catch the extra little dig in there? He's Mary's son, right? Mary's son. Do you know what that means when they didn't say Joseph's son? They said Mary's son. We know about the scandal. We know about the virgin birth story. Right, all the teenagers have been using that one now, right? No, we know all about it. He's an illegitimate kid. He was born in sin. He's Mary's son. And so they disrespect him in this way. We saw him grow up as a kid. Now, I tell you what, any of you who have spent any time preaching or so on, and you know what this is about too. You know? When I go visit someplace and I preach, oh, it's so much fun. Like when I go to Kenya. I come in and it's like I'm a rock star, baby. You know, I'm visiting, I preach there, and man, they're listening. Teenagers, you wouldn't believe it. I had 250 teenagers, high school students, in this room, and I spoke for over an hour. By the way, no air conditioning in Kenya, no electricity, no water, nothing. And I talked for over an hour, and they never talked to their neighbor, looked away. They didn't even so much as yawn. I mean, I had those eyes laser focused on me, right? And that happens pretty much wherever I go when I'm somewhere else. But when you come back and you have to preach every single Sunday, I have to watch out for those who are snoozing, you know. And in your hometown, a prophet has no honor. Isn't this Mary's son, the brother of James, Joseph, and Judas, and Simon? His sisters right here. And they took offense at him. The danger of the familiar, all right? Seeing Jesus had become commonplace for them. Folks, there's a wonderful lesson here I don't want us to miss in this danger of the familiar. And what a wonderful song that we sang about praying for Jesus to be present amongst us here. Now, I want you to look at this story, and I want you to back up to when Jairus came up and got Jesus and wanted him to come heal his sick daughter. And then this lady with an issue of blood came up through the crowd and touched Jesus' hem of his garment and said, if only I can touch him, I'll be healed. And Jesus said, who touched me? And his disciples are like, Jesus, what are you talking about? There's a big crowd. There's a big crowd. There's people everywhere. They're bumping and they're touching you all over the place. Do you realize what's going on here? Do you realize how apropos this lesson is for us right here, right now, in this building, in this place? These people were all kinds of people bumping around in their Jesus is present, but they don't understand it. They don't realize it. They don't get it. They receive nothing from Jesus. The majority of the people get nothing. Who gets it? Who gets it? That one woman who goes in desperate faith and grabs him. She receives the power of Jesus. And he goes into his hometown, and all these people who are all around Jesus all his life, and they don't get it. Do you see my concern, my worry about people who are always coming around Jesus and they're not receiving the power he has for them? They're missing it. It reminds me of a song a country song singer had, that she was knee deep in water and not a drop to drink. We're missing it. It's easy for people to get a Jesus crowd together. But my question is, as Jesus said here in this text, he could not do any miracle amongst them because of their lack of faith. Look what the familiarity had done. You know how hard it is for people who have grown up in the church all their life, and they've done this Sunday after Sunday after Sunday after Sunday. But pretty soon it becomes what it is that we're doing on the outside, that we miss that Jesus is here with us. How many really in communed with Jesus here today? And how many of us sang a really nice song, ate those little cracker things, drank a little juice, went through the motions, but we never connected with Jesus at all. Because we're so familiar with it, we can just go through the motions and we can just do it. And we missed Jesus. I think this text is true in every generation. It's not just us, it's everybody, everywhere. We have a tendency, when we become so familiar with stuff, that we move into danger ground, spiritually speaking. It becomes commonplace for us. We become unmoved. More concerned with, wonder what the clock's doing, wonder what I'm going to do afterwards, I wonder how many goosebumps I can get. All these external things become more important than what is the truth and what is our mission and what are we doing. Otherwise it becomes old and stale and familiar. Oh, we need to pray to be like babes in Christ. That zeal when we first became a disciple. We really connected with the power of Jesus Christ as he transformed our life. You know, as the Bible says that, we're born to walk in newness of life. That there's this regeneration in us, that we're tapping into the power of Jesus Christ. Where's the enthusiasm? Where's the excitement? Where's the zeal? Where's the tapping into the power? There's a story that I heard about this guy. He's got a dog, and this dog can play cards. I said, you're kidding. This dog can play cards. Cards. He can play cards. He said, yeah, he can play cards. He goes, but he's not really good. Every time he gets a good hand, his tail starts wagging. And I'm wondering about us. We've been dealt a really, really good hand. And does our tail still wag, if you will, as we realize what we've got in Jesus Christ? Do we have that enthusiasm? It's very obvious in what we say and what we do and what we believe. Okay? We've got a great hand. What are we doing with it? There's also the danger of unbelief, and this is what I want to focus on, the balance of the lesson here today. Danger of unbelief. Jesus was amazed at their lack of faith. Only 2 times in scriptures, wherever it says that God or Jesus was amazed at anything. This time, and then there's another time. The other time was about this soldier who needed Jesus to heal his servant. And the soldier, and Jesus was getting ready to go with him. He said, no, you don't need to come. See, I'm a man under authority. I know what it's about. I tell this guy, you go do it, and he does it. I tell this guy, come, and he comes. You're a man under authority too. You just speak the word and they'll be healed. And Jesus was amazed. And this guy was a foreigner. And there was a purpose in that story. The people who should have known didn't. This guy who was a foreigner had such great faith that the creator of the universe was amazed at his great faith. And now we got people over here who grew up with Jesus. They know about Jesus. And they're contemptuous with Jesus. And they had seen all these miracles. Remember, let's go back in our text. Oh, we had a leper that was healed. We had a paralytic that was able to get up and walk. We had crazy Harry, and all these demons were cast out of him. We had the seas that were busting out all over the place, and Jesus spoke, and it was calm. We had a woman who was sick for 12 years, and immediately he healed her. We had a kid that was sick to the point the kid died, and he raised him up from the dead.